Good morning. Here we are again, talking about change. You've heard people say that they went to the school of hard knocks. Well, welcome back to school. Let's take a quick look at how learning takes place. It begins from where we are now, and we add in a new skill or we hear some new information, and now learning has taken place. Just as a baby crawls, develops those muscles in order to walk. Or perhaps you've learned a new instrument and you remember those boring scales that you had to practice before you could actually practice a song. Or perhaps you've learned a new sport and you had to practice those techniques over and over. Maybe you got some coaching and now you can play that sport. So let's take a look at what we already know that's going to help us navigate through these uncharted waters. I'd like you to think about people who have influenced you. What are their qualities that you feel influenced you? And let's think of those people in three groups. The first group will be people that you've not actually met. Could be they're from history or they're alive today, you just haven't met them, but you're still aware of qualities that you feel make them very effective. When I've done this in the seminar, very often people will mention Ronald Reagan. And I ask, what's the quality? And they'll say, he's a good communicator. Yes, and he had a good sense of humor. He said, since I've come into office, I've gotten hearing aids, I've had prostate surgery, I've had skin cancer, and I've been shot. The darn thing is, I've never felt better in my life. That sense of humor shows your humanness, and it causes people to trust you, which is very important during times of change. Now the second group of people, let's bring it a little bit closer. You have met them, perhaps you work with them, or from your social life, or perhaps in church. What were their qualities that you captured? I remember when I was at the Department of Education, this coworker one day, just out of the blue, said, Carol, you ought to be a professional speaker. And I said, what am I going to talk about? He said, oh, don't worry, content will come. I said, well, when's it going to come? Is it going to come like before I get on stage or after I leave? That would worry me. Well, he made sure that I attended some conferences that helped me learn the speaking business, and it went from there. So a person who sees something in you at a time that you don't see it. Now that third group, bringing it much closer, would be your family. Grandma, grandpa, mom and dad, siblings, aunts and uncles. Was there someone who was able to teach you something new without blaming you or putting you down in some fashion so that you enjoyed learning? I had a friend that said, whenever you point the finger, notice there are three fingers pointing back. Maybe there's something you can do in a situation rather than blame, because blame has never fixed anything. My father used to say, as I would be leaving him to go to work, he'd say, I pray you do well. Well, I took those words with me, and I think they really helped. So these qualities that we've noticed in people, we own them now. You know, they're a part of us, and we can draw on them. There is an expression, opportunity knocks, but change comes barging in. So those qualities that you mentioned, those were all opportunities. You probably didn't even think about them, but they're a part of you, and now that change has come, you're going to use them. There's another expression, change is the only constant. Well, change itself can't stay the same. It's accelerating. It's happening at a faster pace than it's ever happened before. And you were dealing well with change, all that technological change or stuff that happens in your life. You were doing okay. And then all of a sudden we get hit with this big one. And you want to say, Lord, this time you gave me a mountain I may not be able to climb. Oh, yes, you will. Because you have those champions, those heroes that you can have in mind. And something good that may be happening at this time is that America is redefining the term hero. I've always defined it as a person that can handle an adversity in life that I probably would not be able to handle, and yet they are making it through. Those were my heroes. But now we're discovering that these heroes, they're on the front lines right now. They're not making the greatest amount of money, but they go to work every day with a passion to help others. And it's not only the ones on the front line, there's people at all levels that are finding a way to brighten the corner in another person's life. Those are the heroes. So if we stay focused on the positive, have faith in the positive, if we draw on the qualities of the heroes in our life, we're going to be able to make it through the hard knocks.